I have some bad news for today. I actually strained my neck, and I wish it was by doing something impressive, like I was doing lateral pulls and something happened. Just by doing this, I heard it pop, and now I can't move my head without moving my torso also. Now, as for today's topic, we're gonna be working on a forward fold or a pike. Basically, how to get down all the way with your upper body and put it on your legs while straight. And we're gonna go through a nice and easy progression that you can either follow along or just build upon over time by yourself. If you're ready, we're gonna start out as always with the easiest exercises and work our way up until we can pike like this at any moment, at any given time. Without warming up, you'll be able to pike the shit out of it. So I'm going to start you out in a seated, elevated position. Why is that? Because it's much easier to work on our hamstrings, or biceps femoris, our gastrocnemius, our soleus, our Achilles tendon, and even I took off my shoes because we're going to be working with our toes a lot. The first thing to do is pull in your toes, which is gonna stretch out your Achilles tendon, and it's gonna start to build a little bit of a stretch in the backside. And from here, we want to fold forward. Now, we do not want to round our back because you're gonna be compensating with the roundness in your back. We also do not want to extend our shoulder blades because that's another compensation. No, what we want is tilt our pelvis like so, and then some of you are already going to feel a little bit of a stretch in the backside here. Now, with our back extended, we want to move in just a little bit. Move in a little bit more, and move in a little bit more. Keep your spinal erectors fully flexed, and pull yourself a little bit closer until you can grab right behind your knees with your arms extended. But do not lengthen your shoulders, keep them pulled together at the back so we know that we are working on our hamstrings and we're not compensating with roundness and shoulder length. Now, we're going to do this, hold for 30 seconds, and then relax. Now we're going to move to a single-sided one and do the same thing on the left side. And we want to move slowly from here, down, down, hold on, shoulders pulled in, back in a fully extended position, return, and repeat the whole process on the other side. Tilt your pelvis and pull in, arms extended, but shoulders not. Once you finish your last exercise, you have now earned the right to sit down on the ground. So, we're going to extend both our legs in a seated position. Now, some people already have a problem to sit upright when they are on the ground. They automatically fall backwards because they do not have the required mobility in their glutes and in their upper hamstrings as well as in their lower backs. What also comes to play is the strength in your hip flexors. So if they are really weak, you're going to have a problem to keep your body upright here and you're going to fall backwards. For you, I advise you to work from here. You can actually pull in your foot and raise it, which is going to basically do the exact same thing that we're going to do later on. This is going to help you. If you cannot do this, stick with me till the end. I have a couple of exercises that are going to help you compensate for the lack of mobility and strength if you have that problem. Now, we're going to start out by raising both our legs like so, because from here we can grab them with both arms, and now we're going to start extending step by step. Extend, extend, extend. Some of you will already be able to straighten their legs out fully. So the next thing is to pull in your toes. Since we have our back rounded, you know that we're compensating just a little bit with spinal mobility, but that is not a problem because this one is really passive. From here, hang your head and we're not trying to actively pull down, we just want to hang our head and stay relaxed. Hold for 30 seconds, slowly move back up, take a short break, and then repeat the whole process for a second or third round. Relax and let your head hang towards the ground. Once we're finished with this one, we're going to sit upright like so. We're going to use our hands, put them at knee height, pull in your toes, put them further front, put them further to the front, and put them at foot height. Try to push forward with your back. You don't have to be in a full lumbar extension, but just being in a somewhat neutral position is already perfect, especially because we have an additional workout on our core. We're going to have a lot of core inclusion, which is an amazing bonus to have. So now that the seated exercises are done, we're going to find ourselves a wall, which is basically my favorite piece of equipment when it comes to any kind of training. I am going to use something where I can put my hands on top. If you do not have that, you can place your hands on the wall. I find this to be a little bit easier for myself. Keep your legs extended. We're going to push our upper body down towards the ground. We're going to go into a spinal extension in our spinal erectors. Here, we want to try and have a 90-degree angle in our body. From the ground to our legs and from our legs to our body. So we're pushing down. You're already going to have a nice little stretch in your chest and shoulder musculature. Another bonus. I've been giving you bonuses for days now. We're going to start by raising one heel and then switching it up into a very dynamic movement. I always recommend to slow the movement down. Some of y'all might want to do this. Some of y'all might want to have just a little bit more tempo. I enjoy it much more when I can slow down and really push that heel into the ground while this one is fully relaxed. And then we're going to switch and switch and switch. You're going to notice that you're a lot more limber after that exercise, which means that we're going to instantly move from this exercise to the next one by moving down lower. Now, for those of you who cannot move towards the ground instantly, from here, move down another step, go into an extension in your spine. Move down another step, go into an extension in your spine. And then once you are ready, we can move down to the ground. Now, here we're going to just relax our lower back and we're going to let our head hang loose, or else you're going to fuck up your neck the way I did by turning to the left. Just hang loose, and from here, again, left side, right side. You're going to notice your body is trying to compensate by moving back, because that is going to give you an angle that's going to relax those muscles. And we want the opposite of that. So we want to move forward. When we're forward, then the ankle in your ankle is going to be smaller, and therefore you have already more stretch in your Achilles. From here, we're going to repeat the whole process of left side and right side. Don't be a spaz, just slow down and move from one foot to the other. Move your hands closer, one foot, other. Move your hands closer, one foot, other, and switch and switch. Now we are ready to use a really advanced technique called reciprocal inhibition, which comes naturally to people who have been stretching for a long time, doing flexibility work. You might not even know that you have been doing this all the time. But what that basically means is we are flexing the antagonists of the muscles that we are stretching. If you want to stretch your hamstrings and the back side of your legs, you contract the front side of your legs. The antagonists of our Spinal erectors, that would be our abdominals, the antagonists for our glutes, the hip flexors, for our biceps femoris, the quadriceps, for our gastrocnemius and soleus, the tibialis. So we're going to contract all those muscles. What happens then is that automatically all the muscles in your backside are going to relax. Once you flex one muscle, the other one has to relax. Give it enough space to contract. You're going to start by first contracting your abs, contracting your hip flexors. Now you're almost to a 90-degree angle. Contract your quadriceps. That's going to extend your back a little bit more. And then contract your tibialis by pulling yourself forward. And for good measure, you can either place your hands back here and help just a little bit by pulling in further. But mostly, we want to be using our musculature to automatically relax the backside. So flex and pull yourself down actively. Pull and pull and pull some more. And relax, like so. I want you to relax by getting a full bend to fully relax the muscles. Then we're going to stretch again. Keep your hands on the ground. Move into this position and flex your anterior chain to automatically relax your posterior chain. Now you can see my upper body is already basically pressed onto my legs. Now I have mentioned that some of you might be falling backwards when they are seated on the ground, which is why you guys are going to be doing the standing exercises more. Because when you're standing, you're definitely not going to fall backwards. And again, the range of motion doesn't matter. The exercise I showed you today, that is the goal. You're not meant to be able to do this instantly, so even if you start out by just being able to bend slightly in your back, that is already enough. It's not about getting your upper body down, it's about feeling the stretch. And if you are feeling a stretch, then you are doing something. And I'm happy that you are, and I'm proud of you that you are, because most people, they neglect their mobility, and then they get hurt, and then they have to take time off from their favorite training just so they can recover again, and you are not one of those people. So I'm really proud of you, and thank you for doing that for yourself. Now, as for the programming, we want to hold the static exercises, the ones where you hold the stretch without moving for 30 seconds. Which seems to be, according to most studies, the most efficient time to hold. So 40 seconds does not have a significant increase in mobility, and 20 seconds doesn't either, which means 30 seconds is the perfect time to hold the stretch, take a small break, and then repeat the same one for a second or even for a third round. Now, I would recommend working on your posterior chain as well as, of course, on your anterior chain every single day when it comes to mobility. Most people do not have the time or the motivation to do that, which is absolutely all right. You can do it twice a week, but focus on taking your time, feeling what you're doing, and try to stay in this holistic mindset, because over time, the older you get, the more you're going to regret not having worked on your mobility. I started early. I started when I was 19 or 18 with yoga, and I still regret that I didn't start even younger. Even though here in Austria we have physical education that is really well, but we never really went into the mobility territory, which I find to be very sad. If you like the video, subscribe, because there are new videos every single day. Captain Cairo, peace out.